What's good, peeps? What's good, everyone? Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. We are closing in fast on 30,000 subscribers now. We've just zoomed past 29,000, so we are getting there. So thank you so much to everyone that has recently subscribed. What a night of boxing, eh? What a night of boxing. Whether or not you're a Brook or a Khan fan, look, you're obviously going to be disappointed if you're an Amir Khan fan. But that's what we need. Like, British boxing needs more nights like that. Sold out arena, everyone talking about it. And in the end, I just thought it was fantastic. I really did. Obviously, it's going to be a bit more fantastic for me because I'm a Kell Brook fan. But credit to Amir Khan as well. I'm going to do a separate video because I'm sure that's it for Amir Khan. And we're going to look back on what's been a ridiculously good career, coming at the amateurs at 17 and everything he achieved, all those big fights in America. So we're going to do a separate Amir Khan fan because he needs his flowers. Like, Amir Khan deserves as many and as much plaudits as possible. Before we talk Kell Brook and potentially what next for Kell, massive shout out again to 888 Sports. You guys know that last week I was at the Super Bowl, which was crazy, honestly, crazy being there. We did do part one. Part two of me and Rory's trip to the Super Bowl is out now. Here is a little snippet.
Back in the game, 13-9. Come on, the Bengals.
You guys are going to the Super Bowl with 888 Sports. You're going to the Super Bowl.
But why is it the greatest show on earth?
This sport, it makes the entire country stop for this one particular game. Everybody's going to be watching it.
We've come from London and we think the World Cup's bigger than this. It's not, is it? This is bigger.
The Super Bowl?
Yeah, this is bigger.
Nothing bigger than the
Oh,
Super
there's nothing
Bowl.
bigger?
No.
Yeah?
100% no.
This has been amazing. The fans are ready. The city's ready. Addy's ready. I'm ready. What we need to do now is get into the game and find out if the Super Bowl really is the biggest event on earth.
Anyway, look, we've got to go. All right, there you go. There's the trailer for part two. If you want to watch the full video, the link is in the description. So make sure you watch the full video. Go over, leave a comment, say how much you love Addy working for 888 Sport. It really does help. But yeah, fantastic for 888 Sport to get me involved in that. I really had the time of my life out in LA. It was incredible. And no doubt I'll be doing a lot more with 888 Sport as well. So again, thank you so much to them. Please go over, share the video, leave a comment, like it. It all helps me, people. It really does. All right, let's talk about Kell Brook and what next for Kell. Look, in the immediate aftermath, and this is why I like doing videos now, because when I did a video yesterday, it's difficult. You're watching Kell and you're excited. You're almost thinking, my God, this is like Kell of old. But then you have to kind of just take a step back and realize that Kell's 35, and you have to take a step back and realize who he's fighting. Amir Khan looked really, really bad last night. Don't get me wrong, we still saw the fast hands for about a couple of rounds. I think round one when he got tagged, before he got tagged, we saw it. And I thought round two, he regrouped and we saw that. The feet were very, very slow. And I said that from the very, very beginning. Like, Amir Khan's hands are super fast, but his feet are slow. I say all this because there has been a lot of talk, and Kell even said it himself. He said after the fight in an interview with Sky Sports, I think it was in his changing room, he said, I'm back, I'm on top. And you kind of have to rein that talk in because, again, he fought someone that's been out of the ring for 30 months, who is 35 himself, who clearly was a shadow of himself, really, at Amir Khan. So you almost have to take that into consideration before we start talking about Kell versus X, Y, and Z. The two big names that were mentioned yesterday were Conor, Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Let's focus on the latter first. Chris Eubank Jr. has come on social media and he's pretty much called out Kell Brook. The Sowlands, who look after Chris Eubank Jr., have also called out Kell Brook. And it isn't one way. Kell Brook has always mentioned Chris Eubank Jr. as well. It stems all the way back from when Kell Brook fought Gennady Golovkin, and there was a talk about, you know, Chris Eubank Jr. losing his pen in terms of, some people look at it as avoiding Gennady Golovkin. I certainly do. And it's really been brewing since then. It's gone quiet. Nothing's happened. Obviously, Kell isn't the same Kell. Chris Eubank Jr. has got his own route. But now it's almost come back together again. Look, Kell made 149 pounds 2 days ago, but that's not really his weight class anymore. Kell really should be at 154 pounds. I mean, if you ask Kell, he'd love to fight at 160, but you got to find the right dance partner. So I don't know. Like, I don't want Kell to fight anymore. Like, for me, in an ideal world, we don't see Kell in the ring. You walk away, you beat your arch nemesis, you made some good money, but they are going to chuck money at Kell. Boxer will chuck money at Kell. They'll say, look, we can do you versus Chris Eubank Jr. in Sheffield. Like, you know, Chris will go anywhere. In Sheffield, pay-per-view, here it is. And they'll chuck big money at him. And it will be big money. It'll be 4, 5, 6 million, whatever. It'll be big money. Because that's a big money fight. It really is. It'll fill out most arenas. And it's Chris Eubank Jr. Chris will sell it well in his own unique way. Kell will sell it well. He's coming off the win against Amir Khan. His name's trending. It will do big numbers. And if you're Chris Eubank Jr., as much as I tweeted, Chris, look, stop calling out Kell. Why don't you call out the 160-pound champions? If you're Chris, you look at it from a risk-reward perspective. What's the risk in fighting a 35-year-old Kell Brook that's naturally a lot smaller than you and is way past his sell-by date? It's not much risk. I mean, Chris Eubank Jr. would beat Kell Brook. And then you look at it from a case of a financial standpoint. What money at 160 pounds can make Chris more than a Kell Brook fight? What money? Jamal Charlo, no. Demetrius Andrade, no. Gennady Golovkin, over here, is that a bigger fight than Kell Brook? Again, it goes back to that risk-reward factor. So maybe not. Murata, you know, Munguia. There isn't that much that make more money than a Kell Brook. So I can understand, as much as I had to dig at Chris, I can understand why Chris thinking, this is easy work. You want me to fight Kell Brook, a natural welterweight, when I've been fighting at 168 pounds and come down to 160. Fine, sign me up. So I can understand why Chris is doing it. Chris is in it for the money now. A lot of people will say, including myself, why isn't Chris chasing the champions, the titles? Chris ain't in it for belts. Chris is not in this game for belts. If you think he is, then you're very, very mistaken. Chris is in it, like most fighters really should be, for the biggest check. And the biggest check could be Kell Brook. So I can understand why Chris is chasing it. I can understand. And I can understand why Kell was thinking about it as well. Kell would not be scared of Chris Eubank Jr. at all. Kell's a lot better boxer than Chris Eubank Jr. And Kell will think, after last night's performance, especially if he has to not cut weight, that there's a bit more left in the tank. Whether there is, I don't know. The other one's Conor Benn. Conor Benn was obviously ringside doing some work for TalkSport. Conor Benn smashed it on comms, by the way. I listened to a little bit. I was at TalkSport a few hours ago. I listened to a bit of the commentary. He was really, really good. Look, I don't mind those kind of passing of the torch matches. I don't mind it. But you've got to be realistic and think, how is that even going to happen? I mean, one fight's on DAZN, and he is becoming Eddie's golden goose on DAZN. Would Eddie risk him with Kell Brook? I mean, I actually don't even know who I'd favour in that fight. Conor has said he'll go to 150 to make the fight, just so that, you know, Kell's comfortable with regards to weight. Will DAZN let Conor Benn go and fight on Boxer, Sky Sports? Absolutely not. And the relationship between Eddie and Kell seems to have broken as well. So as much as that sounds great, and it does, it sounds like a good fight, like, I'd be interested. It's, again, big money fight. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen ever. It's not. And I was going to say anytime soon. No, Kell needs fights to happen now. Kell's only got a year left, maybe one, maximum 2 fights left. And one of those 2 fights isn't going to be Conor Benn. It's more likely, and as crazy as it seems, it is more likely that Kell fights Chris Eubank Jr. Again, they're both on Boxer. They both seemingly want it. Eubank definitely wants it. Kell will sit down with his family, as he said yesterday, and discuss it. But I think Kell will look at the check being offered, and he spoke about, you know, their retirement money. He'll look at it and think, you know, one more. Win or lose, it's okay. If I get beat by Eubank Jr., not a problem. I went up to 160, I challenged myself. He will look and think, there's one more. People will say, oh, Kell's made a lot of money already. I don't know if he has made a lot of money. I mean, he's been in some big fights. He wouldn't have made great money for Sean Porter. Wouldn't have made that as going over as a mandatory. And we know what that is, a 75-25 split or an 80-20 split. It would have made good money for Golovkin. He would have made some good money for Errol Spence. But apart from that, it's not been, you know, he's not fought in sold out arenas on pay-per-view all the time. So I think he might think, I need one more. I need one more just to secure my family's future for life. And that one more could be Chris Eubank Jr. It really could. Look, in an ideal world, as I've said, I'd like Chris to look at some of the other champions in and around him. But Chris, what is he now, 32? And realistically, it's got to the stage with Chris where I can't even see Chris fighting any of these guys. Like, I've been talking about Chris versus Jamal Charlo and Andrade and Gennady Golovkin, who looks like will sign a 2-fight deal with DAZN, and it will be Canelo and Murata, or Murata Canelo, sorry. Can you really see Chris fighting these guys? I mean, can you really? I I mean, look at what Chris has done recently. Liam Williams was his last fight. Is he going to go from Liam Williams to one of these killers? I don't think he will. So I wouldn't be shocked if Benn Shalom is already sort of trying to work things behind the scenes just to gauge the interest from Kell Brook. But I do think we are going to see Kell Brook versus Chris Eubank Jr. I really do. And I think it will happen in the summer. It'll happen in the summer and it'll be a big pay-per-view fight. A big pay-per-view fight. Will it be as big as Amir Khan, Kell? No, but it'll be a big fight nonetheless. It will be. I said on the video in the lead up to this that I thought it was going to be a 65-35 split in terms of fans in there. Bloody hell, I don't know about that. It looked like it was almost 90-10 in favour of Amir Khan. Amir Khan still can pull a crowd, can't he? He really can, and respect to him. Because when Kell was walking out to all of the lights, it was boos everywhere. And I was like, jeez. Like, Amir Khan really did have a lot of fans there. So look, credit to Amir Khan. It always takes two to tango. After seeing that performance from Amir, I would love to know what really happened at training camp. Obviously, Bomac was talking the talk and Terence Crawford was talking the talk. But after watching that, I'd be shocked if Khan didn't get handed to in sparring. I would be really shocked, especially from some of those up-and-coming killers that they have coming out of that camp. I'd be shocked if there wasn't a problem. So everyone, I guess, was on the big sell, right? Everyone was on the big sell. Khan was on the big sell. But you could see in his eyes, yeah, and maybe I'm wrong with this one, but I don't think I am. You could see in Khan's eyes as he's walking to the ring. So initially, there's Bomac with him, there's Terence Crawford, there's his whole camp. And when they leave him and he has to do the walk by himself, petrified's the wrong word. But it's almost as though Khan knew he was walking to the ring with nothing left. There was nothing in the tank whatsoever, and he knew it. He knew it. And I don't know how that sits with me, because obviously he was selling the fight like this is easy work and camp's been great. And I don't think camp was great. I really don't. And look, Khan's smart. It was big money on the table. You take the money. You take the money. But fingers crossed that's it for Amir Khan. But I do think there's one more for Kell Brook. What do you guys think? Let me know. Peace, everyone.